back to the Bloomberg story from yesterday. You know the one, just how bad is the U.S. cost of living squeeze? We did the math. So you can get this data from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and this is how much prices have gone up from January of 2020 to October of 2023. Indoor houseplants, I didn't even know they tracked this. Indoor houseplants, 21%, natural gas, 29%, car insurance, 33%, major appliances, 12%, groceries, 25%, pets, 17%, water, sewage utilities, 16%, rent, 20%, electricity, 25%, the cost of curtains for your home or apartment, 20% up, used cars, 35%, restaurants, 24%. But it's not just that. Coffee's up 23% since 2020. By the way, from 2016 to 2019, it was down 6%. Mortgage rates, of course, up. The 30-year effective mortgage rate has gone up 4 percentage points. The home price has gone up 42%. The rent price has gone up 28%. Electricity has gone up 51% in California, 42% in Maine. Childcare costs have gone up 32%. Chicken sandwiches at your local fast food restaurant have gone up 32%. Pasta prices up 14%, in large part because of egg prices. Burgers have gone up 23%. Pizza prices have gone up 17% at fast food restaurants. It's something people have been talking about for a while. Now get this, the left's response, the progressive response, the media's response has been, well, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, wages are up 20%. So yes, inflation has gone up, but so too has wages, except there's a problem. From 2020 to 2023, when you take into account inflation, wages have not gone up 20%. Do you know how much they've gone up? 0.6%. 0.6%. That is how much wages have gone up. You know, what's so funny is I mentioned this story and the Bloomberg story, and the number of people, all of whom were on the left, said, but wages have gone up. You forget wages have gone up. Yes, but after inflation, only 0.6% since 2020. Nate Silver of 538 points out today, he says, it turns out wages really haven't gone up that much, but you know what has gone up? Spending. Algorithmically, a lot of different places, including fast food restaurants, have figured out they can get you to spend more money. They can influence your buying decisions. Not only that, but now with DoorDash, Instacart, Uber Eats, things like that, the fees that you have to pay, they also have gone up. So you used to go to the restaurant to get your food. Now you're DoorDashing it. There's a fee there. There's a tip there. My gosh, I mean, it's the wild antics online. It's gone viral. Everything wants a tip. Everybody wants a tip. Everything wants a tip. Everybody wants to. And I'll tell you, I've been very blessed. I try to be generous. I've been tipping more than probably I should. I've always been a generous. I learned that from my dad. Tip very well. There are some places where I will tip 50%. There are the good restaurants where you want the great service. But I tip. And I tip the barista who makes my coffee for me. But there's something else here. And this is actually the heart of what I wanted to focus on. Why did the story need to be told? This is the thing. This is the point of it. This is my frustration with it. Shortly before Bloomberg did its story, the idiot Taylor Lawrence, just a detestable harpy at the terrorist-supporting Washington Post, did a story that argued that explained away people's concerns about the economy as it's influenced by social media. Literally did this weekend. The viral $16 McDonald's meal that may explain voter anger towards Biden. That literally it is people complaining on social media makes you think the economy sucks. It's not actually the economy. That was the argument. Nate Silver, of course, debunks this and points out that even the cost of Big Macs have gone up. Everything's gone up. The prices of everything have gone up. But the problem is the story being written. This is it. It's great information, and I'm glad that Bloomberg did it, but Bloomberg should not have had to have done it. Because for more than a year, voters, the people who will actually pick the president of the United States, have been telling anyone who would listen the economy's not all right. And the editorialists of the New York Times and the terror-supporting Washington Post and the pundits and the talking heads and the news anchors and the reporters, they've all been saying, actually, the economy's doing better. It's better than everywhere else on the planet. Why are people so ungrateful? Joe Biden's got a lot to tell about the great stuff he's done to the economy. No, he does not. That is a lie. There are things Joe Biden has done. The problem is Joe Biden has not done the things that matter the most to the people who vote, the consumers and the middle class. The supply chain port backups, that kind of fixed itself. Joe Biden didn't do a whole lot to fix the stuff that mattered. When Joe Biden came to office, Larry Summers, who had been an economic advisor, Treasury Secretary to Clinton and Obama. He had been a Harvard professor. He's one of the most respected liberal economists on the planet. Penned a piece, I think it was in the New York Times, maybe it was the Washington Post, said, if you do your COVID relief plan, you're going to spark inflation. Don't do it. And the left attacked him. The Biden administration attacked him. They all attacked Larry Summers. What Larry Summers warned would happen, happened. Happened far more. In fact, Summers has said it was more aggressive inflation was than even he expected. And voters have been telling people this. Do you know how many people have told me they spent over $60 on a turkey for Thanksgiving? I was talking to a lady this morning. She said her turkey was 13 pound. A 13-pound turkey from the grocery store was $68. And the best the Biden administration can do is they quibble with it and say, well, it's not really that bad. That if you connect to median wages, whatever the heck they're talking about there, that it's really not as bad as it seems. No, it actually is still bad, Mr. President. They're trying their best to spin their way out of it. They can't bring themselves to acknowledge it's as bad as people say it is. And reporters at major media institutions have tried to convince you that everything's okay when you know it's not. And those reporters have tried to convince you, like with the crime wave, that really this is all a generation of social media and Fox News. You're being duped by social media and Fox News. Crime's not that bad. Inflation's not that bad. It's coming down. And the way these idiots in the press have talked about it, when inflation comes down, they think, oh, prices are going down. No, it just means that they're not going up as fast. They don't even know what the hell they're talking about. But you do, and you have all along. You've been telling the truth. You've been telling anyone who would listen. Things are not all right. My cost of living has gone up. I may have gotten a huge pay raise, but it's getting eaten out of my pocket by the costs of things at the grocery store. My grocery bill is so much higher. My fast food bill is so much higher. Y'all, we eat a lot of fast food in my house. My kids do, particularly. I'm doing better. My wife does really good. She counts her macros. She weighs everything out. It just looks miserable to me, but it's worked. She's lost like 75, 80 pounds. But we've done a lot of traveling over Thanksgiving and the like, and I've been going to Chick-fil-A a lot for the kids. It's expensive. It's expensive for one person to eat at fast food now. And you know what Chick-fil-A, these other companies do, McDonald's, Burger King, and the like, is when they decide to raise prices, they jack up their prices. They do a significant increase, and they only try to do it once every few years. So their rate of return, their profit margin goes down and down and down and down. And just before they start to get to a loss, hopefully 5 years later, then they raise prices again, and they raise prices significantly. And their first year, they have a big profit margin, and then it winds down and down and down and down. And they're getting blasted for this by the administration. Everyone seems to be clueless in how it works, and it's all to protect Joe Biden. Bloomberg should have never had to have done their story. The reporters of America should have been able to believe the people of America and not the Biden administration. And they couldn't bring themselves to do it until Bloomberg reported, oh, yeah, turns out there really is a problem.